Learn how to add depth and perspectives to your visualization by converting a standard 2D pie chart into a 3D pie chart. In this lesson, we want to look at how you can create a 3D pie chart with Google Charts. You would have seen that we've created a 2D chart. Why 2D charts are excellent for your precise data analysis. Sometimes you want your presentation or dashboard to have a bit more visual flair. And how to do that and achieve that using Google Charts is the exact thing we want to take a look at in this example. So here's my boilerplate code. There's already a CDN link to the chart library, chart.js library, as well as an empty div inside my paragraph, which has an ID of my chart and then a style that denotes the height and the max width of what we are going to draw. So having set that in motion, let's move into the script tag and let's start adding our code. The first thing is to make a call to the chart API. So we're going to do that very quickly. So we're basically calling on the chart package in order to be able to use it in what we are trying to do. So now that we have this, then let's set a callback function that is going to be responsible for running the drawing on the ground without interrupting any other thing that we may have on the page. So set unload callback. So it's going to be a callback that will run our function. So your function can be anything, but in my own case, I'll just give it the name of draw chart. And once I'm done, then I can go ahead and make that function itself, draw chart. And then inside it, the first thing I want to do is I want to set data. And in setting data, I'm going to make a variable and call on Google visualization. So this is a built-in function that you can call in order to turn your data into that you can call to turn your array into a data table. And so inside it, you can put a couple of things, especially information. So we are going to put country and we're going to put HL. So for the first country, so I'm going to put let me use Togo. So I'll add comma to this. Definitely I am already missing something. Yeah, and that is because it is an array, not a square bracket, not a curly braces. You can see array to data table. So the data needs to be an array, then it will now pass it into a table. So I'll take this and add like 3 more or 4. So let's call this Ghana. Let's call this Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal. And let's give them a different percentage. So we have our data set up. Now, let's go ahead and set up our options as well. So make a variable, call it anything, but to match what I'm trying to set up, so I'll just call it option. And inside it, I'm going to set a title that will display on my chart. So I'll call it Africa top cement producing countries. So your title could be anything. I actually know that what I just put might not match the content, but it's just a title, so you can name it anything as long as it is valid, then it will be accepted. And once you set this, then there's one more thing. Now you need to set is 3D and then set it to true. So once you've done this, then it's now time for us to draw. So let's now go ahead and draw our chart. And to draw, let's make a variable and call it charts. And inside it, we are going to call it the new Google Visualization Constructor. And we're going to draw a pie chart. Just that pie chart is going to be turned into a 3D. That is just the difference. So now that we have this, I can just call on this variable, the chart variable rather, chart.draw, and then pass in our data as well as the options. And if you look at this, you can see what we have. Now you can see the 3D. You can see that this is a well-rounded pie chart compared to the raw 2D. So you can see that the visual is more enhanced and then the data are more beautifully laid out, as you can see it on my screen. So this script that we have inside our script tag renders the identical cement producing data from our options that we have, from our data that we have in this example, and it wraps it in a stylish three-dimensional layout. You can see it. So the entire pie chart is slightly tilted backward, giving it, physical depth along with shadow that highlights the individual slices. You can see the shadow as I am hovering on each of the percentage that correspond to the country. And all this magic is happening with this introduction of this 3D that we have here inside the options that is set to true. So if I set this to false, obviously, then there should be changes in what we are getting. You can see that this has reverted back. So this particular part is very important in making what we have to be a 3D that we can visualize and see, on our screen. So this makes this pie chart more interactive and enables full interactivity. And you can see that immediately we hover on it, it's making the slides to slide backward, outward slightly, highlighting it and then displays percentage data in a clean two-tip box, which is what you can see under it. You can see the two-tip that is coming up and displaying the percentage and the data that correspond to each of the countries. So this is how you can turn a 2D to 3D, a 2D pie chart into 3D using this factor that we introduced in the option in JavaScript.